Loving yourself first is not selfish. It is the foundation for living a life full of energy, focus, and meaningful connections. When you prioritize your well-being, set clear boundaries, and care for your mind and body, everything around you begins to improve. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others treat you and determines the opportunities, relationships, and experiences you attract. This audiobook will guide you through practical daily steps to strengthen your inner self, protect your energy, and grow in confidence. You'll learn how to build routines that support your health, cultivate habits that improve your focus and resilience, and communicate your needs so that your relationships are honest and supportive. Each chapter gives clear actions you can start using today to see real change in your life. Some of these steps may seem simple at first, but when done consistently, they have a powerful effect on your happiness, your clarity, and your sense of purpose. By following the guidance in this audiobook, you'll begin to notice a difference in how you feel every day, how you handle challenges, and how people respond to you. If you commit to putting yourself first and applying these principles, life will reward you in ways you may not expect. Stick with this audiobook, focus on each step, and by the end, you'll have a clear path for creating a stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Chapter 1. Choose daily self-care that fuels your inner strength. Choosing daily self-care that fuels your inner strength is not just a routine. It is the foundation of the life you want to live. Many people overlook the simple fact that the quality of their life is a direct reflection of how well they care for themselves every single day. Strength does not come only from pushing through challenges or achieving big milestones. Real strength begins with small, consistent actions that prioritize your well-being, your mind, and your spirit. It is about making choices each day that reinforce your value and your commitment to yourself. It is about understanding that every thought, every habit, and every action shapes the person you are becoming. This chapter will guide you to understand what self-care truly is, why it matters, and how to implement it in ways that consistently build inner strength, resilience, and clarity. Self-care is more than indulgence. It is not about occasional treats or fleeting comfort. Self-care is about creating a lifestyle that supports your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. It is about building practices that sustain energy, reduce stress, and sharpen your focus. It is about nurturing the person inside you so that you can show up fully in every area of your life. This requires honesty with yourself and the willingness to recognize what drains you and what fuels you. Start by observing your daily routines. Notice the moments when your energy dips, when your motivation wanes, or when stress starts to build. These signals are not random. They are messages from your mind and body asking for attention. Your response to these signals is what determines whether you grow stronger or weaker over time. Physical care is one of the most visible and tangible forms of self-care. Your body is your vessel, and it requires consistent attention to perform at its best. Fueling your body with nutritious food is not about restriction or following trends. It is about providing the energy necessary to think clearly, act decisively, and face challenges with vitality. Eating whole foods, drinking enough water, and giving your body proper rest are not optional. They are essential practices that influence your inner strength. Exercise is equally critical. It does not have to be extreme or complex. Simple daily movement, stretching, or a brisk walk can create lasting benefits. The act of moving your body builds discipline and reinforces a sense of control over your life. Each session of physical activity strengthens more than muscles. It reinforces the belief that you can take charge of your well-being. Mental self-care is equally important. The mind is where resilience is formed, where clarity emerges, and where the inner strength you seek resides. Daily mental practices, such as reading, journaling, or reflection, sharpen your thinking and help you process emotions constructively. Silence and meditation are not just spiritual exercises, they are tools to strengthen focus, reduce stress, and gain perspective. Taking even 10 minutes each day to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and observe your thoughts allows your mind to reset. This daily discipline trains your mind to stay calm and centered, even in the face of chaos. Mental self-care also involves monitoring your thoughts and conversations. Recognize patterns of negativity or self-doubt and actively replace them with empowering, realistic perspectives. The mind, when cared for, becomes a reliable source of strength and guidance. Emotional self-care cannot be ignored. Your emotions are a compass, guiding you toward what matters and alerting you to what is harmful. Ignoring your feelings or dismissing them weakens your inner strength over time. A strong inner foundation comes from acknowledging your emotions, understanding their source, and responding intentionally rather than reactively. This requires self-awareness and courage. Daily emotional self-care can include expressing gratitude, reflecting on personal wins, or simply allowing yourself to feel without judgment. It also involves surrounding yourself with people and environments that support your emotional well-being. Negative influences, whether in relationships, work, or social media, can quietly erode your inner strength. Choosing who and what to allow into your life is a critical part of emotional self-care. Creating a structured daily routine is one of the most effective ways to practice self-care consistently. Routines build discipline and reduce decision fatigue, allowing you to conserve energy for important challenges. Begin by mapping out essential activities that nourish your body, mind, and spirit. This includes sleep, nutrition, movement, reflection, and meaningful engagement. Each of these elements should have a place in your daily schedule, even if only for a few minutes. Consistency is more important than duration. Even short intentional practices repeated daily compound over time, strengthening your overall resilience and confidence. Daily self-care routines are not a luxury, they are the framework upon which your strength and effectiveness in life are built. Part of self-care is learning to say no. Protecting your energy and your time is a form of self-respect. Each time you allow unnecessary stress or distractions to invade your day, you weaken your inner strength. Saying no is not about being selfish. It is about being responsible for yourself. When you prioritize what truly matters, you create space for growth, creativity, and joy. Evaluate your commitments and consciously choose only those that align with your values and long-term goals. By doing this, you reinforce the message to yourself and to others that your well-being matters. Boundaries are not just protective, they are empowering. They are a daily practice of self-care that strengthens your ability to focus, perform, and grow. Reflection is a powerful tool for daily self-care. Taking time to evaluate your thoughts, actions, and emotions allows you to course correct. Before small issues become major setbacks, reflection can take many forms. It might be a few minutes of journaling in the morning, writing down what you intend to achieve and how you want to feel. It could be an evening review of the day's successes and areas for improvement. This practice cultivates accountability to yourself and reinforces the habit of conscious living. Reflection also fosters gratitude and perspective. Recognizing progress, even small wins, strengthens self-belief and motivation. Daily reflection is not about judgment, it is about clarity and growth. Self-care also involves actively managing stress and preventing burnout. Life will always present challenges, and the ability to maintain inner strength under pressure is cultivated through preparation, not reaction. Identify stress triggers in your life and create strategies to mitigate them. This might involve scheduling breaks during work, engaging in physical activity, or practicing breathing exercises when emotions run high. Learning to pause and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively builds resilience. The goal is not to eliminate stress completely, but to manage it in a way that supports your growth and maintains your well-being. Each small, intentional act of stress management compounds over time, increasing your mental and emotional endurance. Another essential aspect of daily self-care is nurturing your passions and interests. Engaging in activities that bring genuine joy and fulfillment fuels your inner strength. Hobbies, creative projects, or learning new skills stimulate your mind, boost confidence, and provide a sense of purpose. These activities are not distractions from responsibility. They are investments in yourself. Regularly dedicating time to what excites you reinforces the belief that your happiness and growth are worth prioritizing. In doing so, you create a life that is balanced, fulfilling, and sustainable. Daily self-care is incomplete without honoring your interests and passions as an integral part of your well-being. Sleep is often overlooked, but is one of the most critical elements of self-care. Adequate rest is essential for mental clarity, emotional stability, and physical vitality. Skimping on sleep erodes your energy, reduces focus, and weakens resilience. Prioritize a consistent sleep schedule and create a nighttime routine that signals to your body and mind that rest is coming. This may include limiting screen time, creating a calm environment, or engaging in quiet reflection before bed. Quality sleep is a daily investment in your capacity to perform, handle stress, and maintain inner strength. It is a non-negotiable pillar of self-care that profoundly impacts every aspect of your life. Nutrition, movement, mental discipline, emotional awareness, reflection, boundaries, stress management, passion, and sleep are all interwoven threads of a strong daily self-care practice. Ignoring one diminishes the effectiveness of the others. Real strength comes from consistency and balance, not perfection. It is about making intentional choices that prioritize your growth and well-being every day. Daily self-care is an ongoing dialogue with yourself. It is about understanding your needs, honoring your limits, and challenging yourself to improve. Each day presents an opportunity to reinforce your inner strength, to show yourself that you are worthy of care, attention, and investment. Accountability is another powerful tool for ensuring that daily self-care translates into real inner strength. Keeping track of your habits, checking in with your progress, or sharing goals with a trusted friend can reinforce consistency. Accountability is not about punishment. It is about commitment. It strengthens your ability to follow through, builds self-trust, and ensures that daily practices are more than passive intentions. Over time, these consistent acts of care create momentum. Strength becomes a natural byproduct of deliberate and repeated actions. The more consistent you are with self-care, the more confident and resilient you become, and the more capable you are of navigating life's challenges. Finally, self-care is about mindset. It is about believing that you are deserving of attention, care, and respect. It is about recognizing that your life and potential are worth investing in every single day. When you approach self-care with this mindset, it stops being a chore and becomes a source of empowerment. It is the quiet, steady force that shapes your confidence, fuels your energy, and strengthens your resilience. Choosing daily self-care is a declaration to yourself that you matter, that your well-being matters, and that you are committed to becoming the strongest, most capable version of yourself. Daily self-care is not a one-time act. It is a habit, a commitment, and a practice of discipline. It requires intentionality, patience, and consistency. The power of these choices compounds over time, influencing every decision, relationship, and opportunity in your life. By committing to daily self-care that fuels your inner strength, you are laying the foundation for a life of resilience, clarity, and fulfillment. It is the practice of showing up for yourself, honoring your potential, and cultivating the inner power necessary to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and live fully. Each small intentional action becomes a building block of a stronger, healthier, and more empowered life. The strength you build through daily self-care is not temporary. It becomes the steady force that allows you to face each day with courage, clarity, and unwavering confidence. It is the most practical, most reliable, and most transformative investment you can make in yourself, and it begins now with the choices you make today. Your inner strength grows not from dramatic changes or sudden bursts of effort. It grows quietly and steadily through daily choices, deliberate habits, and the conscious prioritization of your well-being. Each act of self-care, no matter how small, reinforces the message that you are worthy, capable, and in control of your life. Choosing daily self-care is an act of discipline, love, and wisdom. It is the first step toward a life where you are empowered, resilient, and fully capable of achieving your potential. By committing to yourself in this way, you set the stage for every other transformation, improvement, and success that follows. The life you desire begins with the care you give yourself today. Chapter 2. Build healthy boundaries that protect your peace and energy. Building healthy boundaries that protect your peace and energy is one of the most important steps toward living a strong, intentional, and fulfilling life. Boundaries are not barriers meant to shut others out. They are clear guidelines that define where you begin and where others end. They are commitments to yourself that prioritize your well-being, focus, and emotional stability. Without boundaries, your energy is constantly drained, your focus diluted, and your life dictated by the demands and expectations of others. Learning to create and maintain boundaries is not optional if you want to live a life of balance, purpose, and inner strength. It is a daily practice of self-respect, awareness, and intentionality. The first step in building boundaries is understanding your values and limits. Clarity about what is important to you is essential because boundaries are rooted in what you are unwilling to compromise. Take the time to reflect on what drains your energy, causes you stress, or leaves you feeling resentful. These are signals from your mind and body that boundaries are needed. Knowing your limits allows you to create guidelines that preserve your energy and protect your peace. This is not about creating walls, but about defining what is acceptable and what is not. Once your values and limits are clear, setting boundaries becomes an act of self-empowerment rather than confrontation. Healthy boundaries require consistent communication. It is not enough to recognize your needs internally, you must express them clearly and respectfully to others. Communication does not have to be confrontational or aggressive. Simple, honest statements about what you can or cannot do convey your limits effectively. For example, stating that you need time alone to recharge, or that certain topics are off limits in conversation is a practical way to enforce boundaries. The key is to communicate with confidence and clarity, reinforcing that your time and energy are valuable. By doing so, you prevent misunderstandings and reduce the chances of resentment or frustration building up over time. Saying no is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining boundaries. Many people fear saying no because they worry about disappointing others or being judged. However, saying no is not selfish. It is a necessary act of self-preservation. Every time you say yes to something that compromises your energy, your focus, or your peace, you are indirectly saying no to yourself. Saying no firmly and without apology sends a strong message that your well-being is a priority. It also teaches others to respect your limits. Over time, consistent use of no builds self-respect and reinforces your inner strength, allowing you to navigate life without constant compromise. Boundaries extend to relationships, environments, and even internal habits. Emotional boundaries in relationships prevent manipulation, emotional exhaustion, and unnecessary conflict. They allow you to engage with others from a place of choice, rather than obligation. Physical boundaries protect your personal space and energy. These can include limiting contact with people who are consistently negative or disengaging from environments that cause stress or distraction. Internal boundaries involve managing your thoughts, emotions, and reactions. Being aware of how external events affect you and consciously choosing how to respond is an internal form of boundary setting together. These layers of boundaries create a comprehensive system that safeguards your energy and peace. Consistency is essential when maintaining boundaries. Setting boundaries once is not enough. They must be enforced daily. Inconsistency leads to confusion, frustration, and ultimately a breakdown of the boundaries you are trying to establish. If you allow exceptions too often, you signal to yourself and others that your limits are negotiable. Consistent reinforcement, even in small daily actions, strengthens your ability to protect your energy. This might involve turning down invitations that feel draining, leaving conversations that become toxic, or stepping away from commitments that no longer align with your values. Each act of consistent boundary enforcement reinforces your self-respect and strengthens your inner stability. Boundaries also involve the courage to face resistance. Not everyone will respect your limits immediately, and some may push back or challenge your choices. This is natural and should not deter you. Standing firm in your boundaries requires patience, confidence, and a clear understanding of your priorities. Resistance is often a reflection of others' discomfort with change rather than a judgment on your worth. Maintaining your boundaries through these challenges strengthens resilience and teaches you that protecting your peace is not negotiable. Each encounter where you assert your limits reinforces your inner strength and clarity. Self-awareness is critical in boundary building. You cannot protect your energy if you are not attuned to when it is being compromised. Daily reflection on your interactions, habits, and commitments helps you identify situations where boundaries are needed or have been breached. Journaling or mentally reviewing your day can highlight patterns of energy drain and pinpoint opportunities to reinforce your limits. Awareness allows you to make adjustments proactively rather than reactively. By being conscious of how different people, activities, and environments affect you, you gain greater control over your energy and emotional state. Boundaries are also about prioritizing your life goals and values. Each boundary you set should align with what you want to achieve and who you want to become. This alignment ensures that your energy is invested in what truly matters. If you consistently allow distractions, obligations, or toxic influences to dominate your time, your personal growth and goals are compromised. Boundaries serve as a compass, guiding your decisions and actions to stay consistent with your highest priorities. They prevent energy leaks and create space for productivity, focus, and fulfillment. The stronger your boundaries, the more empowered you are to live life on your terms. Boundary building is an ongoing process that evolves with your life circumstances. As you grow, your needs, values, and goals may change, and your boundaries must adapt accordingly. Regularly assessing and adjusting boundaries ensures that they remain relevant and effective. This dynamic approach prevents stagnation and allows you to maintain a steady flow of energy toward what matters most. It also encourages self-reflection and personal growth. Boundaries are not rigid restrictions, but living agreements with yourself that safeguard your peace, enable focus, and foster strength in all areas of life. Self-compassion is an integral part of maintaining boundaries. It is easy to feel guilty for protecting yourself, especially when others react negatively. Self-compassion allows you to reaffirm that your well-being is important and that setting limits is a form of self-respect. It removes the weight of guilt and encourages a positive mindset when enforcing boundaries. Viewing boundary setting as an act of care rather than denial fosters confidence and resilience. By practicing self-compassion, you internalize the belief that your energy and peace are worth protecting, making boundary maintenance sustainable and effective over time. Boundaries also enhance relationships rather than harm them. Clear limits foster respect, trust, and understanding. When others understand your boundaries, interactions become more intentional, positive, and fulfilling. Boundaries eliminate confusion, reduce resentment, and create an environment where mutual respect thrives. Relationships built on clear expectations are healthier and more sustainable, allowing both parties to engage fully without compromise or overextension. By maintaining boundaries, you model self-respect, teaching others to treat you with consideration while improving the quality of your interactions. Boundaries protect not only your immediate energy, but your long-term vitality. Chronic stress, overcommitment, and constant emotional strain can erode health, focus, and motivation over time. By setting and maintaining boundaries, you prevent burnout and create a sustainable rhythm for personal and professional life. Energy conserved today is strength available tomorrow. Consistent boundary practice ensures that your inner stability is not compromised and that you remain capable of facing challenges with clarity and resilience. This foresight is a key component of long-term personal success and well-being. Ultimately, building boundaries is a declaration of self-worth. It communicates that your time, energy, and peace are valuable and non-negotiable. It empowers you to live intentionally, make conscious choices, and invest in yourself. Boundaries create a foundation for strength, clarity, and resilience that enhances every aspect of life. Each decision to protect your energy reinforces your ability to focus, perform, and engage fully with the world. They are the quiet force that shields you from unnecessary stress while amplifying your capacity to grow, achieve, and thrive. Practicing daily boundaries transforms your life by giving you control, clarity, and freedom. Creating and maintaining healthy boundaries requires a combination of awareness, courage, and consistency. It is a practice of ongoing self-assessment, honest communication, and firm action. Boundaries are not punitive measures. They are expressions of self-respect, intention, and discipline. Each boundary you uphold is a step toward greater personal power and inner stability. The life you desire, filled with focus, energy, and meaningful connections, depends on the boundaries you set today. Protecting your peace is not optional. It is essential. By committing to boundaries, you build a life of strength, clarity, and intentional living. Every boundary maintained, every no spoken, and every limit enforced strengthens your inner foundation. Boundaries are the invisible framework that supports your energy, focus, and emotional balance. They enable you to face challenges without depletion, engage with others without resentment, and pursue your goals with unwavering determination. By building healthy boundaries, you create a life where your peace is prioritized, your energy preserved, and your inner strength continuously reinforced. They are not constraints, but tools for empowerment, resilience, and personal mastery. Each day offers an opportunity to practice, refine, and strengthen these boundaries, ensuring that your life flows with intentionality, clarity, and purpose. Chapter 3. Embrace honest self-awareness to change limiting life patterns. Embracing honest self-awareness is the foundation for transforming your life and breaking free from patterns that no longer serve you. Many people move through life reacting to circumstances without taking the time to understand their habits, emotions, and motivations. This lack of awareness leads to repeated mistakes, unnecessary stress, and a sense of being stuck. Self-awareness is not about judging yourself or dwelling on past failures. It is about observing your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with clarity and honesty. It is the process of seeing yourself as you truly are, recognizing patterns, and identifying areas where change is necessary. The moment you begin to understand yourself, you gain the ability to make conscious choices rather than unconsciously repeating the same limiting cycles. The first step in cultivating self-awareness is paying attention to your daily thoughts and behaviors. Begin by observing how you respond to stress, challenges, and interpersonal interactions. Notice which situations consistently trigger negative emotions or unproductive reactions. This is not about labeling yourself as good or bad. It is about identifying recurring themes in your life. Awareness of these triggers provides a roadmap for change. When you know the situations or habits that hold you back, you can take proactive steps to alter them. The act of observing your reactions with honesty creates a clear understanding of where your energy is being misdirected and where opportunities for growth exist. Journaling is a practical tool to deepen self-awareness. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and actions allows you to externalize what is often subconscious. Daily journaling helps you identify patterns that you might overlook in the busyness of life. For example, you may notice a repeated cycle of procrastination, negative self-talk, or avoidance of responsibility. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward change. Journaling also provides a safe space to explore emotions without judgment, making it easier to understand the motivations behind your behavior. Over time, this consistent reflection builds insight into your strengths, weaknesses, and areas where deliberate improvement is needed. Self-awareness requires honesty, which can be uncomfortable but necessary. Many people avoid confronting their true behaviors or motivations because it can challenge their self-image or create discomfort. Facing these truths requires courage and discipline. Honest reflection may reveal habits, beliefs, or choices that are counterproductive, but acknowledging them is empowering. It allows you to stop blaming external circumstances and take responsibility for your life. Responsibility is the cornerstone of personal growth. The moment you accept that your actions and decisions shape your results, you gain the power to change them intentionally. Identifying limiting beliefs is another critical aspect of self-awareness. These are the thoughts and assumptions that unconsciously guide your decisions and behavior, often keeping you confined to familiar patterns. Limiting beliefs might include ideas such as "I am not capable," "I always fail," or "I do not deserve success." Recognizing these thoughts as mere constructs rather than truths is essential. Once you become aware of them, you can challenge and replace them with empowering beliefs that support growth and opportunity. Self-awareness allows you to see the ways your mind may be sabotaging your progress, giving you the ability to reframe your perspective and open new possibilities. Observing your emotional responses is equally important. Emotions provide valuable information about your needs, boundaries, and values. Notice when you feel frustrated, anxious, or overwhelmed, and ask yourself why these emotions arise. Often, repeated negative emotional reactions point to unaddressed issues or unresolved patterns. By examining these responses, you gain insight into behaviors that may be limiting your effectiveness or happiness. Developing this skill requires practice and patience, but it is one of the most powerful ways to break free from cycles that keep you stagnant. Emotional awareness is not about eliminating feelings, but understanding them and using them as guidance for intentional action. Self-awareness also involves examining your habits and routines. Repeating the same behaviors without reflection can lead to unproductive patterns. Identify which habits support your goals and which hinder your progress. Some habits may appear harmless, but quietly drain your energy or reinforce fear and procrastination. Daily observation and reflection allow you to make conscious choices about how you spend your time, energy, and attention. Habits that once served a purpose may become outdated or counterproductive, and self-awareness provides the clarity to adjust them. Change begins when you notice the behaviors that no longer align with your values and goals. Feedback from others can enhance self-awareness. Constructive criticism and honest observation from trusted individuals can highlight blind spots that you may not see on your own. It is important to approach feedback with an open mind and without defensiveness. Often what others observe about your patterns or behaviors can serve as a mirror, reflecting areas that need adjustment. Accepting this feedback requires humility and courage, but ultimately accelerates growth. The ability to listen, assess, and act on external perspectives strengthens your understanding of yourself and your impact on the world. Mindfulness practices are another tool to enhance self-awareness. Paying attention to the present moment without judgment allows you to notice thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations as they arise. Mindfulness sharpens your ability to observe patterns as they happen rather than only in reflection. This real-time awareness gives you the chance to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. With consistent practice, mindfulness strengthens clarity, reduces stress, and improves decision-making. Awareness in the present moment is a powerful tool to identify and interrupt limiting behaviors before they become entrenched. Transforming limiting life patterns requires both observation and action. Self-awareness is not meaningful unless it leads to change. Once you identify a pattern that is holding you back, take deliberate steps to replace it with a constructive habit or response. For example, if you notice a tendency to react angrily under stress, you can practice pausing and responding calmly. If procrastination is a recurring challenge, implement structured routines and accountability measures. Change is the natural outcome of consistent self-awareness. Each intentional action reinforces your insight and gradually rewires your patterns, allowing you to operate from a place of clarity, control, and purpose. Reflection should be a daily discipline. At the end of each day, review your actions, reactions, and decisions. Ask yourself what worked well, what could have been handled differently, and what patterns emerged. This process cultivates continuous improvement and prevents repeated mistakes from becoming ingrained habits. Daily reflection, combined with honest self-assessment, strengthens your ability to recognize and adjust limiting behaviors. Over time, this practice creates a heightened awareness that guides your decisions, habits, and interactions with greater intentionality and effectiveness. Self-awareness also intersects with goal setting. Understanding your tendencies, strengths, and weaknesses allows you to set realistic and meaningful objectives. Goals aligned with self-knowledge are more achievable and satisfying because they reflect who you truly are and what you genuinely desire. Awareness prevents setting goals based on external expectations or fleeting impulses. Instead, it encourages you to create a roadmap that is grounded in reality and informed by insight. This alignment between self-awareness and action ensures that your energy is directed toward outcomes that genuinely matter, increasing both motivation and success. Honesty with yourself also strengthens self-trust. The more you observe and acknowledge your true behaviors, the more confidence you build in your ability to face reality and take appropriate action. Self-trust is essential for breaking free from limiting patterns because it provides the inner conviction necessary to make changes consistently. When you trust your judgment and insights, you are less likely to revert to old habits or allow external pressures to dictate your decisions. This inner reliability reinforces resilience, clarity, and long-term personal growth. Self-awareness is a continuous practice. There is no final point of mastery. Life constantly presents new experiences, challenges, and opportunities that require reflection and adaptation. Embracing this ongoing process ensures that you remain flexible, grounded, and prepared for growth at every stage of life. Continuous awareness allows you to evolve intentionally, avoiding stagnation and minimizing the influence of unconscious patterns. It is the ongoing commitment to understanding yourself and aligning your actions with your values that leads to lasting transformation, the ultimate outcome of embracing honest self. Awareness is freedom. Freedom from repeated mistakes, from patterns that limit your potential, and from reactive living. With awareness, you gain the power to choose how you think, feel, and act. Each moment of insight provides an opportunity to act differently, reinforcing constructive behaviors and eliminating unproductive ones. Self-awareness empowers you to create a life based on conscious choices rather than unconscious habits, giving you clarity, resilience, and control over your personal destiny. It is the tool that allows you to shape your life intentionally, leaving behind what no longer serves you and embracing what builds your strength, purpose, and fulfillment. By committing to honest self-awareness, you set the stage for continuous improvement, personal mastery, and meaningful change. The clarity that arises from observing your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors illuminates the path forward. You learn to recognize limiting life patterns, understand their origins, and implement deliberate actions that transform them. Awareness becomes the lens through which you evaluate every choice, the guide that directs your energy, and the foundation for building a stronger, more capable, and empowered version of yourself. Each step of self-discovery reinforces the idea that growth is a daily practice and that the life you desire is achieved by consistently aligning with your truth. Chapter 4. Practice gratitude, journaling to rewire your focus and joy. Practicing gratitude journaling is one of the most transformative habits you can develop to shift your focus and cultivate lasting joy. Life often presents challenges, setbacks, and moments of frustration that easily capture your attention if you allow them to. Without a conscious practice of recognizing what is positive, your mind tends to dwell on scarcity, dissatisfaction, or comparison, which drains energy and undermines motivation. Gratitude journaling is a deliberate way to redirect your focus toward abundance, clarity, and meaningful experiences. It is not simply writing down a list of things you are thankful for. It is a structured, reflective practice that rewires your thinking patterns, builds resilience, and strengthens emotional well-being. The process begins with creating a dedicated space and routine for journaling. Consistency is crucial because the benefits of gratitude accumulate over time. Set aside a few minutes each day to write, ideally at the start or end of your day when your mind is quiet enough to reflect. Choose a notebook or digital platform that feels personal and inviting. This act of preparation reinforces the significance of the practice and signals to your mind that the time is set aside for self-reflection and awareness. By establishing a clear structure, you ensure that journaling becomes a daily ritual rather than a sporadic activity. When you begin writing, focus on specificity rather than general statements. Instead of saying, "I am grateful for my life," dig deeper into the details that truly resonate. Write about a conversation that brought you comfort, a small victory you achieved, or a moment of unexpected joy. Specificity allows your mind to relive the experience and deepen the emotional impact. The more vivid and tangible the examples, the more your brain registers them as meaningful experiences. This process strengthens neural pathways associated with positivity and appreciation, gradually shifting your default mindset toward gratitude. Gratitude journaling also encourages you to explore the positive aspects of challenging situations. Even in difficulties, there are elements that provide lessons, growth, or unexpected benefits. Writing about what you have learned from setbacks, how you have overcome obstacles, or the support you received in tough times reframes your perspective. This practice turns adversity into opportunity, reducing stress and building resilience. By focusing on what can be appreciated in every situation, you train your mind to see potential and value where it might have previously gone unnoticed. Over time, this approach strengthens emotional intelligence and fosters a more constructive, optimistic mindset. In addition to external events and experiences, gratitude journaling can help you recognize internal strengths, reflect on personal qualities, skills, and traits that enable you to navigate life effectively. Acknowledge patience, creativity, determination, or empathy. By identifying and appreciating these aspects of yourself, you reinforce self-respect and self-confidence. This inner recognition is essential because it highlights your capacity to influence your circumstances positively. Gratitude for personal strengths motivates you to continue developing them and applying them intentionally in daily life. Writing about people in your life also has profound effects. Focus on relationships that provide support, inspiration, or guidance. Recognize acts of kindness, mentorship, or moments of understanding that may otherwise be taken for granted. Gratitude journaling in this way not only strengthens your awareness of positive connections, but also encourages more intentional and thoughtful interactions. By acknowledging the role others play in your life, you cultivate humility, appreciation, and deeper emotional bonds. The act of writing reinforces these positive relationships by making them visible and tangible in your consciousness. Reflecting on progress and accomplishments is another powerful aspect of gratitude journaling. Daily life often moves too quickly, causing you to overlook small victories and achievements. Recording these moments ensures that your effort and growth are acknowledged. Whether it is completing a project, maintaining a healthy routine, or mastering a new skill, taking note of progress builds momentum. Gratitude journaling becomes a mirror that reflects personal development, reinforcing motivation and focus. Recognizing even incremental progress prevents discouragement and fosters a mindset oriented toward continuous improvement. The emotional benefits of gratitude journaling extend to reducing stress and enhancing resilience. When you focus on what is positive and meaningful, your brain produces chemicals associated with well-being, such as dopamine and serotonin. This physiological response strengthens your capacity to cope with challenges without being overwhelmed by negative emotions. Gratitude becomes a mental habit that stabilizes mood, reduces anxiety, and promotes clearer thinking. Journaling ensures that this habit is practiced intentionally rather than leaving gratitude to chance. The consistent practice reshapes neural patterns, creating a more balanced and joyful emotional baseline. To maximize the effectiveness of gratitude journaling, include reflection on lessons learned from daily experiences. Consider what each day has taught you, how challenges have influenced your growth, and what insights you can carry forward. This reflective aspect integrates gratitude with self-awareness and personal development. You are not only recognizing positives, but also extracting wisdom from every situation. By combining appreciation with learning, journaling becomes a tool for both emotional enrichment and strategic growth. Each entry strengthens your ability to navigate life intentionally, responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Integrating gratitude journaling with visualization enhances its impact. As you write about positive experiences, imagine them in detail, how they looked, sounded, or felt. Engage all your senses in this reflection. Visualization amplifies the emotional connection and reinforces the brain's perception of abundance and joy. By vividly imagining positive outcomes, you strengthen confidence in your capacity to create further experiences that align with your goals. Gratitude journaling, paired with visualization, cultivates both awareness of current blessings and anticipation of future achievements, enhancing overall life satisfaction. Journaling also helps interrupt negative thought cycles. Often, the mind fixates on what is missing, unfair, or unsatisfying, creating patterns of frustration or discouragement. Writing intentionally about what is appreciated redirects attention to constructive and positive elements. This shift trains the brain to prioritize recognition over criticism, gradually reshaping perception. Over time, your mental default becomes one of noticing opportunity and value rather than loss or limitation. This rewiring supports emotional stability, increased motivation, and a sense of control over your mental and emotional state. Accountability enhances the consistency and depth of gratitude journaling. Set a fixed time each day and commit to completing the practice, regardless of mood or circumstances. By making it a daily ritual, it becomes a non-negotiable part of your routine, creating cumulative effects over time. The longer you maintain this habit, the more your perspective and emotional state improve, reinforcing discipline and self-respect. Accountability ensures that the practice evolves from an occasional exercise into a foundational element of personal growth and resilience. Gratitude journaling also sharpens awareness of life's abundance. By consistently acknowledging positive elements, you become more attuned to subtle sources of joy and value that might have been overlooked. Small acts of kindness, natural beauty, or moments of connection become more visible. This heightened awareness contributes to a sense of satisfaction, reduces constant comparison, and increases emotional resilience. The mind learns to actively seek positivity, creating a feedback loop of appreciation, joy, and motivation. Journaling makes this process intentional, reinforcing a mindset of abundance and opportunity. The transformative power of gratitude journaling lies in its ability to connect you with the present moment. Focusing on what is meaningful here and now reduces distractions from past regrets or future anxieties. It anchors your attention in reality, creating clarity and mental stability. Journaling about gratitude encourages mindful engagement with life, enhancing focus, decision-making, and emotional balance. The practice fosters a sense of presence and fulfillment, helping you recognize that joy is available in daily experiences rather than being dependent on external circumstances or future achievements. Finally, gratitude journaling cultivates a long-term mindset of optimism and resilience. The habit strengthens your capacity to approach challenges with constructive thinking and recognize opportunities in adversity. It reinforces patience, emotional balance, and clarity in decision-making. By making daily reflection and appreciation a priority, you gradually train your mind to operate from a position of gratitude rather than scarcity. This shift has profound implications for personal growth, relationships, and success. Gratitude journaling is not just a daily exercise, It is a transformative tool that rewires focus, enhances joy, and empowers intentional living. By committing to this practice, you cultivate a mindset that consistently identifies value, celebrates progress, and navigates life with optimism. Each entry in your gratitude journal is a step toward emotional mastery, heightened awareness, and a more joyful existence. The habit reinforces focus, strengthens resilience, and rewires your mind to recognize the richness of your daily experiences. Over time, gratitude journaling transforms perception, making positivity the lens through which you approach challenges, opportunities, and relationships. It becomes a deliberate, actionable, and powerful tool to enhance life, sustain motivation, and cultivate lasting inner joy. Chapter 5. Cultivate daily rituals that strengthen body, mind, and heart. Cultivating daily rituals that strengthen your body, mind, and heart is a transformative way to build consistency, resilience, and a sense of purpose in life. Rituals are more than routines. They are intentional actions performed with focus and dedication to maintain balance and vitality. Life often feels chaotic because most people operate without structure, reacting to circumstances rather than creating them. Daily rituals provide stability, giving the mind clarity, the body energy, and the heart emotional balance. By committing to practices that nourish all aspects of your being, you create a foundation for growth, productivity, and long-term well-being. The smallest, most consistent actions repeated over time generate profound shifts that compound into a stronger, more fulfilled life. The first step in establishing these rituals is clarity about what you want to achieve in each area of your life. For the body, consider energy, strength, and health. For the mind, focus on clarity, focus, and resilience. For the heart, prioritize emotional stability, compassion, and connection. Clearly defining these goals allows you to design rituals that directly support them. Rituals must serve a purpose rather than exist as empty habits. When each action aligns with your goals, they reinforce discipline and intentionality. Over time, these aligned rituals strengthen not only your physical capabilities, but also your mental and emotional capacities, making you more capable of navigating challenges and seizing opportunities. Physical rituals are foundational because a strong body supports a strong mind and balanced emotions. Begin by incorporating movement into your daily routine. This does not require intense workouts or long hours at the gym. Even short sessions of stretching, walking, or light resistance training have a cumulative effect on energy levels, focus, and overall vitality. Pair movement with intentional breathing to maximize oxygen flow and mental clarity. Nourishment is equally important. Eating consistent, balanced meals and staying hydrated are rituals that sustain energy and prevent fatigue. Sleep rituals such as maintaining consistent bedtimes and winding down without distractions allow your body to recover fully and perform optimally. Treating your body as a temple requires deliberate, daily care that reinforces strength, endurance, and vitality. Mental rituals are just as critical for building focus and resilience. Start each day with practices that sharpen attention and enhance clarity. This might include reading, journaling, or reviewing your priorities. For the day, reflection on personal goals, accomplishments, or lessons learned strengthens insight and decision-making. Meditation, mindfulness, or brief moments of silence help calm the mind and cultivate presence, preventing reactive behavior under stress. Limiting distractions and allocating dedicated time for deep work reinforces discipline and cognitive strength. By consistently engaging in mental rituals, you train your brain to remain focused, adaptable, and resilient. Even in high-pressure situations, mental rituals cultivate clarity that guides purposeful action throughout the day. Emotional rituals nourish the heart and help maintain balance in relationships and interactions. These can include expressing gratitude, practicing forgiveness, or intentionally connecting with loved ones. Daily acknowledgement of your feelings allows you to process emotions constructively rather than letting them fester or control your behavior. Acts of kindness toward others, reflecting on positive experiences, or even dedicating time to activities that bring joy contribute to emotional well-being. Rituals designed to support emotional health create resilience, empathy, and patience, which enhance relationships and reduce unnecessary stress. The heart thrives on consistent care, just as the body and mind do, and daily attention reinforces emotional stability and satisfaction. Integrating body, mind, and heart rituals into a cohesive daily structure magnifies their impact. Begin by scheduling time for each area, even if only a few minutes per practice. Morning routines can set the tone for energy, focus, and emotional readiness. Evening routines provide reflection, gratitude, and preparation for restful sleep. Rituals create rhythm and predictability, allowing the mind to anticipate growth and balance. Over time, this predictability reduces decision fatigue, increases efficiency, and cultivates a sense of control over life. Consistency in these daily practices is more impactful than intensity, ensuring that each day contributes meaningfully to overall well-being and long-term strength. Intentionality is essential for rituals to be effective. Each action should be performed with awareness, rather than as a mechanical task. When you move your body, notice how muscles stretch and energy flows. When you journal or meditate, engage deeply with thoughts and feelings. Emotional rituals should be felt genuinely, not rushed or superficial. Conscious engagement enhances the neural and emotional benefits of these practices, reinforcing the mind-body-heart connection. Intentionality turns simple daily actions into transformative experiences that shape character, enhance resilience, and strengthen self-discipline. Adapting rituals to your life circumstances ensures sustainability. Life is unpredictable, and rigid routines that cannot accommodate real-world challenges often fail. Design rituals that are flexible, yet consistent, allowing for variations without losing their essence. Shortened sessions or adjusted schedules still maintain the benefits if the intention and focus remain intact. Flexibility prevents burnout, promotes adherence, and encourages long-term integration into daily life. Rituals become not a burden, but a reliable source of strength and balance, reinforcing that your well-being is non-negotiable, even amidst external demands. Rituals also reinforce identity and personal growth. The repeated practice of intentional actions creates a sense of self-discipline and reliability that defines who you are. You become someone who values health, clarity, and emotional stability. This identity strengthens self-confidence and reinforces choices aligned with your values. The consistency of rituals over time solidifies habits that support your vision for life, creating a self-reinforcing cycle where daily practice strengthens character and character motivates continued practice. Each completed ritual becomes a tangible reminder of commitment, focus, and self-respect. Reflection is a key component of cultivating rituals. Take time to assess the effectiveness of your daily practices and adjust where necessary. Notice which rituals provide the most benefit and which may need refinement. Reflection ensures that rituals remain purposeful and aligned with evolving goals. This continuous improvement keeps your practices relevant, motivating, and impactful. Without reflection, rituals can become stagnant or rote, losing their transformative potential. Regular evaluation maintains engagement and deepens the benefits of each practice, ensuring progress across body, mind, and heart. In addition, rituals encourage resilience in the face of external stressors. Daily practices act as stabilizing anchors, providing a consistent foundation even when life is unpredictable. When energy is low, focus is challenged, or emotions run high, established rituals offer familiarity and structure. They create predictability and reinforce control over personal growth. This stability allows you to approach challenges calmly, think clearly, and respond with composure. Rituals cultivate the inner strength needed to navigate adversity while maintaining balance and perspective. The cumulative effect of daily rituals is profound. Small intentional actions compound over time, producing significant improvements in health, clarity, and emotional well-being. Rituals cultivate discipline, reduce stress, and enhance focus. They foster a sense of accomplishment and reinforce the belief that consistent effort yields meaningful results. Each completed practice strengthens the connection between intention and action, reinforcing habits that build resilience and long-term growth. The impact of these rituals is not only internal, it extends to the quality of relationships, productivity, and overall life satisfaction. Ultimately, cultivating daily rituals is a commitment to yourself and your long-term growth. They are investments in energy, focus, and emotional stability that pay off exponentially over time. By nurturing body, mind, and heart through structured practices, you create a balanced and resilient foundation capable of handling life's challenges. Daily rituals are not optional extras. They are essential strategies for sustaining strength, clarity, and fulfillment. Each moment you dedicate to intentional practice reinforces discipline, reinforces your values, and strengthens the capacity to live intentionally and purposefully. Daily rituals shape who you are and who you will become. They create a rhythm that guides decisions, sustains energy, and fosters emotional resilience. By consistently engaging in practices that nourish body, mind, and heart, you cultivate a life of balance, focus, and strength. The smallest repeated actions form the foundation for extraordinary growth. Over time, the disciplined commitment to these rituals transforms not only daily experiences, but also your capacity for achievement, clarity, and fulfillment. The life you envision emerges through deliberate practice, reinforcing that intentional daily rituals are among the most powerful tools for long-term personal success and well-being. Chapter 6. Honor personal growth by setting clear goals and follow through. Honoring personal growth begins with the deliberate act of setting clear goals and committing to follow through on them consistently. Goals provide direction, purpose, and a framework for progress. Without clearly defined objectives, energy and effort scatter, leaving potential untapped and opportunities missed. Personal growth is a conscious journey that requires intentional choices, discipline, and accountability. By establishing specific goals, you create measurable targets that allow you to track progress, stay focused, and cultivate momentum. The act of setting goals is an acknowledgement that your growth matters and that your actions should align with the person you want to become. The first step in goal setting is clarity. Understand what you truly desire in every area of life, whether it is health, career, relationships, or personal development. This clarity ensures that the goals you set are authentic and meaningful, rather than imposed by external expectations or fleeting impulses. Authentic goals resonate deeply with your values, creating internal motivation that is far stronger than superficial incentives. When you know precisely what you want, every decision and action can be aligned toward achieving it, minimizing distractions and wasted effort. Clarity forms the foundation for disciplined action, allowing you to prioritize what truly matters. Effective goals are specific and measurable. Rather than vaguely stating an intention, define it in concrete terms. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be healthier," identify actions such as exercising 3 times a week or incorporating more vegetables into each meal. Measurable goals provide a benchmark for progress and prevent ambiguity. When objectives are clearly defined, you can evaluate success objectively, make adjustments as needed, and celebrate tangible achievements along the way. Specificity converts aspiration into actionable steps, giving structure to your personal growth journey and reducing the likelihood of procrastination. Breaking larger goals into smaller, manageable steps is essential for follow through. Ambitious objectives can feel overwhelming if approached as a single, massive task. By dividing goals into incremental actions, you create a clear path that allows for steady progress. Each small achievement builds confidence, reinforces discipline, and strengthens commitment. This approach transforms daunting goals into achievable milestones, making consistent action sustainable. Daily or weekly steps create a rhythm of progress that encourages persistence and prevents discouragement when challenges arise. Consistency is the driving force behind personal growth. Setting goals without follow-through is ineffective. Daily effort and sustained focus are necessary to translate intention into results. Consistency reinforces habits, strengthens discipline, and solidifies commitment. Each action, no matter how small, contributes to momentum, and repeated effort compounds into significant transformation over time. By honoring your commitment to your goals through consistent practice, you build credibility with yourself, fostering self-trust and reinforcing the belief that you are capable of achieving meaningful change. Accountability enhances follow-through and ensures that goals do not remain abstract intentions. Sharing your objectives with trusted individuals, maintaining a progress journal, or implementing self-check systems keeps you responsible for action. Accountability acts as an external reminder of commitment and encourages consistent effort, especially when motivation wanes. Tracking progress regularly provides clarity on what is working and what needs adjustment, preventing stagnation and reinforcing personal responsibility. Accountability structures your growth process, creating a supportive framework for sustained achievement. Flexibility is critical for navigating the challenges inherent in goal pursuit. Life presents unexpected obstacles and changing circumstances that require adaptability. Being rigid or unwilling to adjust can undermine progress and cause frustration. Evaluating goals periodically, making adjustments, and remaining open to new strategies ensures that efforts remain aligned with evolving priorities. Flexibility does not mean abandoning commitment. It means refining approaches to maintain forward momentum. This adaptive mindset strengthens resilience and reinforces the ability to persist despite setbacks. Visualization and mental rehearsal are powerful tools to support follow-through. Consistently imagining yourself achieving your goals and experiencing the associated benefits strengthens motivation and reinforces belief in your capacity. Mental rehearsal prepares you to respond effectively to challenges, increases confidence, and enhances focus. Visualizing success complements tangible actions, aligning mindset with behavior. The combination of clear goals, structured steps, and mental preparation creates a comprehensive system that maximizes progress and minimizes wasted effort. Tracking progress and celebrating achievements reinforces commitment and motivation. Recognize both small victories and major milestones, as acknowledgement of effort strengthens self-discipline and encourages continued action. Reflecting on accomplishments provides perspective on growth, validates effort, and energizes future endeavors. Celebrating progress is not a reward for vanity, but a recognition of persistence and commitment. Each completed step reinforces the habit of follow-through, building confidence and reinforcing the importance of consistent action in personal development. Overcoming obstacles is an inevitable part of pursuing meaningful goals. Challenges test resilience, patience, and adaptability. Instead of avoiding difficulties, approach them as opportunities to strengthen problem-solving skills and reinforce commitment. Each challenge navigated successfully builds confidence, reinforces self-efficacy, and contributes to long-term growth. Viewing obstacles as temporary and solvable ensures that setbacks do not derail progress. A growth-oriented mindset transforms difficulties into learning experiences, allowing personal development to continue despite adversity. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. Motivation fluctuates, but discipline ensures that action persists regardless of circumstances or emotional state. Cultivating discipline involves consistent effort, prioritizing essential tasks, and maintaining focus on long-term objectives. Daily routines and structured practices reinforce discipline by reducing reliance on fleeting motivation and increasing reliability of action. The more disciplined you become in following through on your goals, the stronger your capacity to achieve increasingly ambitious objectives. Discipline underpins every stage of personal growth, providing stability and predictability to the process of change. Clarity of purpose amplifies the impact of goal setting and follow-through. When objectives are aligned with deeply held values and aspirations, effort becomes meaningful and energizing. Purpose provides context for action, reinforcing persistence during difficult moments and enhancing satisfaction in achievement. Goals pursued without alignment to purpose may yield external results, but fail to create lasting fulfillment. Anchoring each objective in personal significance ensures that the pursuit itself contributes to growth, satisfaction, and resilience. Purpose-driven action strengthens the connection between effort and long-term transformation. Reflection and adjustment are essential to sustaining progress. Regularly review goals, assess outcomes, and refine strategies to remain aligned with priorities and evolving circumstances. Honest reflection identifies ineffective practices, highlights areas of growth, and maintains momentum. Adjustments allow the pursuit of goals to remain efficient and impactful, preventing stagnation and wasted effort. Continuous evaluation reinforces intentionality, strengthens insight, and ensures that each action contributes to meaningful personal development. Ultimately, honoring personal growth through goal setting and consistent follow-through is a demonstration of self-respect, commitment, and discipline. Each goal pursued with clarity and intention builds momentum, strengthens character, and reinforces confidence. Following through on objectives cultivates resilience, teaches patience, and fosters a sense of accomplishment. The process transforms not only outcomes, but also the individual, creating habits, skills, and perspectives that support continued growth. Personal development becomes a daily practice of intentional action, reflection, and alignment with values, producing a life of purpose, strength, and achievement. Committing to clear goals and persistent follow-through establishes a structure for long-term transformation. Every step taken in alignment with intention reinforces focus, strengthens discipline, and builds self-trust. The journey toward personal growth becomes deliberate rather than accidental, ensuring that energy and effort are consistently applied to meaningful pursuits. Through clarity, structured action, and consistent effort, growth is honored and realized, transforming aspirations into tangible results and creating a foundation for continued progress and success. Chapter 7. Strengthen resilience through facing fear and taking consistent action. Strengthening resilience begins with the conscious decision to face fear directly and take consistent, deliberate action despite discomfort. Fear is a natural response to uncertainty and risk, but allowing it to dictate behavior limits growth, opportunity, and fulfillment. Resilience is built when you acknowledge fear, understand its source, and move forward regardless of its presence. Each time you confront fear, you expand your capacity to handle adversity, adapt to challenges, and navigate life with confidence. Action in the presence of fear trains the mind and body to respond with courage and clarity, reinforcing the belief that obstacles can be overcome through deliberate effort and persistence. The first step in developing resilience is recognizing the fears that hold you back. Many fears are subtle, appearing as hesitation, procrastination, or avoidance rather than overt panic. Observing your responses honestly reveals where fear limits decision making or prevents progress. This awareness is essential because it transforms vague anxiety into something tangible that can be addressed strategically. Understanding the nature of fear allows you to differentiate between rational concerns and imagined threats, providing clarity about where action is necessary and where energy is being wasted on unnecessary worry. Taking consistent action is the antidote to fear action. Even in small steps, interrupts the cycle of avoidance and builds momentum. Each step taken, no matter how minor, reinforces the capacity to handle discomfort and uncertainty. Consistency is critical because resilience is not a one-time achievement, but a skill developed over time. The accumulation of deliberate actions strengthens confidence, and reduces the perceived power of fear. Over time, repeated practice creates a habit of moving forward even when the outcome is uncertain, solidifying resilience as a defining characteristic of your approach to life. Facing fear effectively requires preparation and strategy. Breaking challenges into manageable steps makes daunting situations approachable and actionable. Planning responses, anticipating obstacles, and rehearsing scenarios mentally reduces anxiety and enhances performance. Preparation does not eliminate fear but equips you with the tools to navigate it effectively. By combining foresight with deliberate action, fear becomes a signal for focused effort rather than a barrier. This structured approach transforms potentially paralyzing experiences into opportunities for growth, learning, and increased competence. Understanding the physical and psychological responses to fear enhances resilience. Fear often manifests as tension, increased heart rate, or racing thoughts, signaling that the body is preparing for a challenge. Awareness of these responses allows you to manage them rather than be controlled by them. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindful focus, or grounding exercises calm the nervous system and restore clarity. Recognizing fear as a physiological and mental signal rather than a permanent threat empowers you to act intentionally. Each encounter with fear provides an opportunity to strengthen self-regulation, emotional control, and adaptive thinking. Consistent exposure to challenges fosters courage and mental toughness. Each experience that requires action, despite fear, builds a track record of success, reinforcing belief in your own abilities. Resilience grows incrementally as repeated actions confirm that discomfort can be endured and overcome. Courage is developed through practical experience, not abstract reasoning. The brain and body learn through repeated engagement, and the more you practice facing fear, the more automatic confidence and composure become in future situations. This accumulation of experiences creates a foundation of strength that supports long-term personal and professional growth. Failure is an inevitable part of facing fear and taking action, but it is also a powerful teacher. Experiencing setbacks provides insight into limitations, reveals areas for improvement, and strengthens problem-solving skills. Resilient individuals view failure not as a reflection of worth, but as information guiding adjustment and learning. By reframing mistakes as feedback, fear loses its ability to paralyze, and the focus shifts toward constructive action. Each challenge, whether met with success or temporary setback, contributes to the development of resilience, reinforcing the capacity to persevere under pressure. Building resilience also requires cultivating patience and persistence. Fear is often persistent, and immediate success is rare. Long-term growth comes from maintaining effort, even when results are slow or uncertain. Persistent action reinforces self-discipline and gradually diminishes the power of fear. Small, consistent steps taken over time create momentum that propels progress, even in the face of repeated obstacles. Patience ensures that temporary setbacks do not derail overall growth, while persistence converts fear into fuel for consistent action and long-term achievement. Support systems enhance the development of resilience. Seeking guidance, encouragement, or mentorship from trusted individuals provides perspective, reassurance, and practical advice. Sharing challenges with others reduces isolation, validates experiences, and offers alternative strategies for navigating fear. Support networks strengthen emotional stability and reinforce the belief that challenges can be overcome. While resilience ultimately depends on personal effort, connecting with others provides reinforcement, insight, and motivation, creating an environment that nurtures courage and consistent action. Self-reflection amplifies the benefits of facing fear. Reviewing experiences, noting successes and missteps, and identifying patterns in responses provide insight into progress and areas needing improvement. Reflection allows for strategic adjustment, reinforces learning, and builds awareness of personal growth over time. This conscious assessment ensures that encounters with fear translate into meaningful development rather than temporary endurance. By regularly evaluating actions and outcomes, you solidify resilience as a skill and integrate lessons learned into future challenges, making each experience a building block for strength. Mindset is critical to resilience. Viewing fear as a natural part of growth rather than a signal to retreat creates a foundation for courage. Positive framing emphasizes opportunities, learning, and personal development. By consciously choosing perspective, fear becomes a motivator rather than an obstacle. Mindset shapes how you interpret experiences, influencing whether challenges become sources of stress or catalysts for strength. Developing a resilient mindset requires deliberate attention to thought patterns, reinforcement through consistent action, and a commitment to learning from every encounter with difficulty. Visualization and preparation enhance the ability to act in the presence of fear. Mentally rehearsing scenarios and imagining successful outcomes reduces anxiety and increases confidence. Visualization strengthens neural pathways associated with effective action, creating a sense of familiarity with challenging situations. This mental practice complements physical effort, providing a framework for controlled, deliberate responses. Combining visualization with actual action accelerates learning, reinforces courage, and enhances the likelihood of successful outcomes, creating a feedback loop that strengthens resilience. Ultimately, resilience emerges from a cycle of facing fear, taking consistent action, reflecting on experience, and learning from outcomes. Each encounter strengthens mental toughness, emotional stability, and confidence in the ability to navigate uncertainty. Over time, fear loses its capacity to dominate decisions, and consistent action becomes a habitual response to challenges. The life of a resilient individual is defined by intentional engagement with difficulty rather than avoidance, by persistence in the face of discomfort, and by growth achieved through repeated, deliberate action. Resilience built through facing fear and acting consistently empowers individuals to pursue meaningful goals with clarity, courage, and determination. It fosters independence, adaptability, and self-reliance, while enhancing the ability to maintain focus under pressure. By embracing challenges rather than retreating, you cultivate a sense of mastery over circumstance and a belief in your capacity to create meaningful results. Consistent practice transforms fear from a limiting force into a tool for growth, ensuring that each experience contributes to a stronger, more capable, and empowered self. By committing to face fear regularly and maintain consistent action, resilience becomes an integral part of character. Each deliberate step strengthens confidence, builds competence, and reinforces emotional stability. Life's obstacles are approached with clarity and determination rather than hesitation or avoidance. The repeated practice of confronting fear and following through creates a foundation of strength that sustains long-term personal and professional growth. Through courage, consistency, and reflection, resilience becomes not only a response to adversity, but a defining feature of daily life, enabling the pursuit of success, fulfillment, and meaningful transformation. Chapter 8. Set healthy relationships by communicating needs respectfully and firmly. Setting healthy relationships begins with a conscious decision to communicate your needs clearly, respectfully, and firmly. Relationships thrive when both parties understand boundaries, expectations, and emotional requirements. Yet many people struggle to express themselves effectively. Avoiding honest communication creates misunderstandings, resentment, and imbalance, undermining trust and connection over time. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, transparency, and the ability to assert personal needs without guilt or aggression. Expressing needs clearly allows you to maintain integrity, protect your energy, and foster partnerships that are supportive, balanced, and sustainable. The first step in establishing healthy communication is self-awareness. Understanding what you truly need, what makes you feel valued, and what is non-negotiable ensures that your interactions are authentic. Reflecting on your priorities, emotional triggers, and past patterns of compromise provides insight into the areas where clarity is necessary. Self-awareness prevents passive or reactive behavior and allows you to articulate your needs with confidence. When you know what is essential for your well-being, your communication becomes grounded in honesty rather than fear or obligation. Clarity in communication is essential. Ambiguity leads to misunderstandings and frustration, while specific language creates transparency. Avoid vague statements such as "I just want more attention," and instead express concrete desires like "I need us to spend quality time together twice a week." Clear communication ensures that others understand what you require and reduces the likelihood of misinterpretation. The ability to articulate needs clearly also demonstrates respect for both yourself and the other person, fostering trust and accountability in the relationship. Respectful communication is equally important. Speaking firmly does not mean being aggressive or disrespectful. Using a calm tone, maintaining eye contact, and expressing thoughts without blame reinforces dignity in the interaction. Statements that begin with "I feel" or "I need" rather than "you never" or "you should" create a non-confrontational environment. Respectful expression encourages reciprocity and reduces defensiveness, making it easier for the other person to hear and respond constructively. By balancing assertiveness with respect, you maintain your boundaries without damaging the relationship. Consistency in expressing your needs strengthens relationships over time. Occasional requests may be overlooked or misunderstood, but repeated, clear communication reinforces expectations. Consistency also demonstrates self-respect and reliability, signaling that your well-being matters. Establishing a pattern of open and honest dialogue creates a framework where both parties feel safe to express themselves. This consistency reduces passive, aggressive behavior, minimizes tension, and builds a foundation of trust and understanding. Active listening enhances the effectiveness of communication. Healthy relationships are reciprocal, and understanding the needs of others is as important as expressing your own. Listen attentively without interrupting or judging, acknowledge their perspective, and respond thoughtfully. This approach fosters empathy, strengthens connection, and encourages mutual openness. When both individuals communicate needs respectfully and listen actively, the relationship becomes balanced and resilient, capable of withstanding challenges without eroding trust. Setting boundaries is a crucial aspect of healthy relationships. Boundaries define what is acceptable and what is not, protecting emotional and mental well-being. Clearly communicating limits regarding time, energy, or behavior ensures that interactions remain respectful and supportive. Boundaries prevent overextension and reduce resentment, reinforcing a sense of security and autonomy within the relationship. Firm boundaries are not rigid barriers, but flexible guidelines that maintain balance and clarity while accommodating the needs of both parties. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship, but handling it constructively is essential for health and longevity. When disagreements arise, maintain composure, focus on the issue rather than personal attacks, and reiterate your needs respectfully. Addressing challenges directly prevents passive tension from accumulating and allows solutions to emerge collaboratively. Conflict becomes an opportunity for growth, deeper understanding, and strengthened connection when managed with clear communication, respect, and firmness. Avoiding conflict or suppressing needs undermines trust and fosters emotional distance. Self-respect reinforces the ability to communicate needs effectively. When you value your own well-being, you are less likely to compromise essential needs for approval or fear of rejection. Self-respect ensures that boundaries are honored and that requests are expressed with confidence. People respond positively to individuals who uphold their values with consistency and integrity. Respecting yourself sets the tone for how others treat you, creating relationships that are reciprocal and supportive rather than draining or one-sided. Flexibility and empathy enhance healthy communication. While firmness in expressing needs is crucial, being open to compromise or alternative solutions fosters cooperation. Empathizing with the other person's perspective demonstrates care and understanding, strengthening connection and trust. Healthy relationships balance assertiveness with adaptability, ensuring that needs are met without disregarding the priorities of others. Flexibility encourages problem-solving, reduces tension, and reinforces the partnership's capacity to endure challenges together. Regular reflection on relationships supports growth and alignment. Periodically assess whether your needs are being met, whether communication is effective, and whether boundaries are respected. Reflection allows you to identify patterns, adjust strategies, and reinforce positive habits. It also provides insight into the health of the relationship, highlighting areas for improvement or further attention. By consistently evaluating and refining how you communicate and interact, you maintain alignment with personal values while fostering stronger, more fulfilling connections. Expressing appreciation and recognition strengthens the relational environment. Acknowledging effort, listening, and responsiveness reinforces mutual respect and encourages continued positive behavior. Gratitude and acknowledgement do not negate the need for firmness, but enhance receptivity and goodwill. Balanced expression of needs alongside appreciation fosters a dynamic where both individuals feel valued and motivated to contribute to the relationship constructively. Ultimately, setting healthy relationships through respectful and firm communication creates a foundation of trust, understanding, and balance. Clear expression of needs prevents resentment, strengthens self-respect, and ensures that connections are supportive rather than draining. Consistency, empathy, and reflection reinforce positive patterns and foster durable partnerships. By integrating clarity, respect, firmness, and adaptability, relationships become sources of stability, emotional nourishment, and mutual growth. Consistent practice transforms communication into a skill that sustains connection, enhances well-being, and ensures that relationships contribute positively to personal and collective fulfillment. By prioritizing honest expression and maintaining clear boundaries, individuals cultivate relationships where both parties feel understood, valued, and respected. Effective communication builds trust, strengthens emotional bonds, and creates an environment where growth is possible. Healthy relationships support goals, emotional stability, and life satisfaction, allowing energy to be invested in constructive and meaningful ways. The ability to articulate needs firmly and respectfully becomes a cornerstone of enduring partnerships, reinforcing resilience, personal integrity, and emotional well-being over time. Chapter 9. Protect your time and energy with disciplined daily routines. Protecting your time and energy begins with a deliberate commitment to disciplined daily routines that prioritize what truly matters and eliminate distractions. Every individual has the same 24 hours, yet the way time and energy are managed determines the quality of life, achievement, and emotional balance. Daily routines provide structure, reducing decision fatigue, preserving focus, and creating a framework for consistent growth. When routines are designed thoughtfully, they safeguard mental clarity, physical vitality, and emotional stability. Each action, when performed with intention and discipline, becomes a building block that supports long-term productivity, personal fulfillment, and resilience. The first step in protecting time and energy is to define priorities clearly. Identify activities and responsibilities that align with your values and contribute meaningfully to your goals. Distinguishing between urgent but unimportant tasks and those that are truly essential allows for strategic allocation of energy. Eliminating or delegating tasks that drain attention without meaningful returns ensures that focus remains on what creates the most impact. Clarity in priorities transforms routines from a series of arbitrary actions into a coherent system that advances personal growth, productivity, and well-being. Creating structured routines begins with designing a schedule that balances work, rest, and personal development. Allocate blocks of time for essential tasks and daily responsibilities, while reserving periods for reflection, exercise, and mental rejuvenation. Consistency in timing enhances efficiency because habits become automatic, reducing the cognitive load associated with constant decision making. Morning routines set the tone for energy and focus, while evening routines consolidate reflection, recovery, and preparation for the next day. Well-designed routines provide predictability, allowing energy to be directed toward meaningful endeavors rather than wasted on uncertainty or scattered effort. Eliminating distractions is a critical aspect of preserving time and energy. In modern life, constant notifications, social media, and interruptions fragment focus and reduce productivity. Implementing intentional practices such as scheduled phone use, dedicated work sessions, or environment optimization creates space for deep engagement with important tasks. Reducing exposure to unnecessary stimuli conserves mental energy and reinforces the habit of focused action. Protecting attention ensures that daily routines are not undermined by reactive behavior or wasted effort on unproductive activities. Time blocking is an effective technique for disciplined routines. Assigning specific periods to particular activities encourages commitment and prevents tasks from expanding uncontrollably. Each block of time becomes a dedicated opportunity to progress toward goals, whether professional, personal, or health-related. Consistent adherence to time blocks strengthens self-discipline and ensures that energy is distributed according to intention rather than circumstance. Over time, time-blocked routines cultivate efficiency, focus, and the ability to accomplish more without unnecessary stress. Energy management is equally important as time management. Recognize periods of peak focus and vitality, and schedule demanding tasks accordingly. Allocate lower energy periods to routine or less critical activities. Balancing activity with deliberate rest prevents burnout and maintains sustained performance throughout the day. Attention to physical health, including movement, nutrition, and sleep, supports energy levels and reinforces the effectiveness of routines. Protecting energy ensures that time spent on meaningful actions is productive and impactful, rather than draining or counterproductive. Habit stacking enhances the efficiency of routines. Linking new positive practices to established habits reinforces consistency and reduces the effort required to maintain discipline. For example, incorporating a brief meditation immediately after brushing teeth or a short review of priorities after morning coffee creates automaticity. Habit stacking leverages existing neural pathways to integrate new behaviors seamlessly into daily life. This method strengthens routines, preserves energy, and ensures that essential practices are not neglected in the chaos of daily responsibilities. Boundaries reinforce the effectiveness of disciplined routines. Communicating availability clearly to colleagues, family, and friends prevents interruptions during critical periods. Setting limits on engagement with energy, draining individuals or tasks, protects focus and emotional well-being. Boundaries are not rigid barriers, but intentional guidelines that maintain balance between obligations and personal priorities. Protecting time through boundaries ensures that routines serve their purpose and prevent external demands from compromising focus, energy, and progress. Reflection and review are essential to optimize routines. At the end of each day or week, evaluate what activities contributed meaningfully to growth and which consumed unnecessary energy. Adjusting schedules, refining practices, and eliminating inefficiencies ensures that routines evolve with changing priorities. Continuous assessment strengthens discipline and maximizes the effectiveness of each action. Reflection reinforces accountability and ensures that time and energy are consistently applied to activities that yield tangible benefits and progress toward long-term goals. Discipline is the cornerstone of protecting time and energy. Routines are only effective when executed consistently and with intention. Self-discipline transforms plans into action, reduces procrastination, and maintains alignment with priorities. Each disciplined execution reinforces habit formation, making adherence increasingly automatic over time. Discipline prevents deviation from purpose, ensuring that energy is not squandered on distractions or reactive responses. The ability to maintain structured routines reflects commitment to personal growth, health, and overall life satisfaction. Routines also provide resilience during periods of stress or uncertainty. When life becomes unpredictable, established patterns create stability and a sense of control. Predictable habits reduce mental chaos and offer a framework for responding to challenges without compromising priorities. The reliability of disciplined routines fosters confidence, minimizes overwhelm, and reinforces the capacity to maintain focus and energy under pressure. Routines act as anchors, allowing consistent performance even amidst external turbulence. Long-term benefits of disciplined daily routines extend beyond productivity. Consistent structure cultivates a sense of purpose, reinforces self-respect, and enhances overall well-being. The cumulative effect of repeated, intentional actions compounds over time, generating growth, mastery, and satisfaction. Energy conserved through disciplined practices can be directed toward creative endeavors, relationships, and personal development, amplifying the impact of each day. Protecting time and energy is an investment in future capacity, resilience, and success. Ultimately, safeguarding time and energy through disciplined daily routines is an act of self-respect, intentionality, and foresight. It ensures that life is guided by conscious decisions rather than reactive impulses or external pressures. Structured routines align actions with priorities, protect mental and emotional resources, and create a sustainable foundation for long-term growth. By consistently honoring time and energy, individuals cultivate clarity, focus, and balance, while enhancing the ability to achieve meaningful goals. Each disciplined day builds momentum, reinforcing habits, fortifying resilience, and enabling a life of purpose, efficiency, and fulfillment. Daily routines are the framework that transforms intention into tangible results. By managing time and energy deliberately, you create space for what matters most while minimizing unnecessary strain. Protective routines cultivate discipline, stability, and clarity, empowering consistent progress in all areas of life. Each committed action strengthens habits, reinforces boundaries, and maximizes the impact of effort. Over time, disciplined routines create a life in which energy is preserved, priorities are honored, and meaningful growth becomes inevitable. Intentional routines are not restrictive, but liberating, allowing life to unfold with purpose, balance, and strength. Chapter 10. Share your authentic self to attract honest, supportive connections. Sharing your authentic self is the cornerstone of building honest and supportive connections that enrich life, foster growth, and cultivate trust. Authenticity begins with self-awareness and the courage to express who you are without masking, pretending, or bending to the expectations of others. When you present yourself truthfully, you attract people who resonate with your values, respect your boundaries, and support your growth. Relationships founded on authenticity are sustainable because they are based on mutual understanding, genuine respect, and emotional honesty, rather than superficial appearances or convenience. Embracing authenticity requires vulnerability, self-confidence, and a commitment to living in alignment with your true nature. The first step in sharing your authentic self is understanding who you truly are. Self-awareness is essential because it allows you to identify your core values, passions, strengths, and areas for growth. Reflecting on personal experiences, observing emotional responses, and acknowledging your beliefs provides clarity about what defines you. Without this understanding, attempts at authenticity can be inconsistent or superficial. Knowing yourself forms the foundation for honest communication and enables interactions that reflect your genuine identity rather than a constructed persona designed to please others. Expressing authenticity requires courage because it involves vulnerability. Revealing your thoughts, feelings, and desires exposes you to the possibility of judgment, rejection, or misunderstanding. Courage allows you to navigate these risks while remaining true to yourself. Each act of honest expression strengthens self-confidence and reinforces the habit of living openly. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is a deliberate choice to engage fully and sincerely with others. By embracing vulnerability, you create space for meaningful connections and demonstrate integrity in every interaction. Consistency is critical in expressing your authentic self. Authenticity is not occasional performance. It is a continuous way of being. Aligning words, actions, and intentions ensures that others perceive you as reliable and trustworthy. Consistency in behavior builds credibility and reinforces the authenticity of your relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who are predictable in their integrity, whose actions reflect their values, and whose communication aligns with their intentions. Reliability strengthens bonds and encourages reciprocal openness. Boundaries play an essential role in maintaining authenticity while fostering supportive connections. Being honest about limits, needs, and expectations prevents resentment and ensures that relationships remain balanced. Boundaries communicate self-respect and guide others in interacting with you constructively. They do not isolate you but clarify the terms of engagement, promoting mutual respect and understanding. Healthy boundaries protect your energy, maintain emotional well-being, and reinforce authenticity by preventing compromise of core values for approval or acceptance. Active listening complements the practice of authenticity by fostering mutual respect and understanding. Engaging fully with others' perspectives, acknowledging feelings, and responding thoughtfully demonstrates genuine interest. This reciprocity encourages openness and creates an environment where authentic expression is welcomed rather than judged. Supporting others in sharing their truth reinforces connection and nurtures relationships built on trust, empathy, and shared understanding. Authenticity thrives in an atmosphere of mutual attentiveness and respect. Sharing your authentic self also involves aligning your social interactions with your values and priorities. Surrounding yourself with individuals who respect your truth and encourage growth enhances well-being and reduces unnecessary conflict or energy drain. Authentic connections naturally attract supportive people, while filtering out those who create toxicity or undermine personal development. Choosing relationships intentionally ensures that time and energy are invested in meaningful interactions that reinforce personal integrity and emotional health. Communication is a vital tool for expressing authenticity. Clearly articulating thoughts, feelings, and boundaries prevents misinterpretation and fosters transparency. Using direct language, acknowledging emotions, and speaking with confidence conveys honesty without aggression. Effective communication bridges gaps between differences, resolves misunderstandings, and strengthens trust. By consistently communicating authentically, you establish relationships that are grounded in clarity, respect, and shared understanding, enabling long-term support and meaningful engagement. Self-acceptance underpins authentic expression. Embracing your strengths, weaknesses, and unique qualities reduces the need for external validation and empowers you to interact without pretense. Self-acceptance allows for imperfection while maintaining confidence in worthiness. This mindset attracts individuals who appreciate you genuinely, rather than superficially. When you honor yourself fully, you encourage others to do the same, creating an environment of mutual respect and genuine support. Engaging in shared experiences reinforces authentic connections. Participating in activities that reflect your passions, interests, and values provides opportunities for meaningful interaction. Shared endeavors foster collaboration, mutual appreciation, and emotional bonding. When connections are built around authentic expression and common values, relationships are more likely to be fulfilling, supportive, and enduring. Engaging actively and sincerely in experiences encourages reciprocal openness and deepens understanding between individuals. Reflection and evaluation strengthen authenticity in relationships. Regularly assessing whether interactions align with personal values and contribute to growth ensures that connections remain supportive and meaningful. This evaluation allows for adjustment in communication, boundaries, and engagement strategies. By consistently reviewing and refining relational patterns, you maintain alignment with your authentic self while fostering relationships that nurture mutual respect and honesty. Reflection reinforces intentionality and prevents compromise of integrity for temporary comfort or acceptance. Empathy enhances the impact of authenticity by creating connection and understanding. Recognizing and validating the emotions and perspectives of others does not diminish your authenticity, it reinforces relational harmony. Empathy encourages collaboration, patience, and constructive feedback, making relationships resilient to conflict and miscommunication. By balancing self-expression with consideration for others, you create connections that are both honest and supportive, fostering trust and mutual growth. Ultimately, sharing your authentic self cultivates relationships that reflect truth, respect, and mutual support. Honest expression attracts individuals who resonate with your values, encourage growth, and respect boundaries. Supportive connections enhance emotional well-being, foster resilience, and create environments where personal and collective development can flourish. The process of authenticity transforms social interactions from superficial exchanges into meaningful partnerships built on trust, understanding, and shared integrity. Living authentically empowers you to maintain personal integrity while engaging deeply with others. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to reinforce self-respect, communicate clearly, and nurture connection. Over time, authentic expression strengthens confidence, reinforces personal boundaries, and attracts supportive individuals who contribute positively to life. By consistently sharing your true self, you cultivate an environment of honesty, trust, and mutual encouragement, creating lasting and meaningful relationships that enrich every aspect of personal and professional life. By embracing authenticity, maintaining boundaries, communicating clearly, and demonstrating empathy, you attract relationships that are honest, supportive, and resilient. Genuine connections become a source of energy, inspiration, and growth, reinforcing the value of integrity in every interaction. Sharing your authentic self is not only an act of personal empowerment, but also a catalyst for cultivating a community of trust, respect, and mutual encouragement. Each authentic interaction reinforces your identity, strengthens your relationships, and ensures that your connections are meaningful, supportive, and enduring.